What's going on, everybody? Coach Al here, and today I came up with an idea of a brand new series for NCAA Football 06, a playlist, if you will, and I want to start doing formation breakdowns. Covering every play, not so much in the most minute detail because it would take forever to go through a video of every single play, but just a general view, my thoughts on the formations, the plays within, break down motions, sub-packages, and what have you. I think this is a pretty good idea, and it would be a good reference point if you ever need to go back and look at one of the videos. You can look at that formation video and see if there's a certain play you like, or if you like a certain aspect of the formation, all like the motions and the sub-packages and stuff. And I want to start off with a formation that I never use, is full house, normal. And I accidentally forgot to put it on the website. There's only one formation of full house, and it is normal. But I have put it on the website. You just click on plays or hover over the plays header, and you should be able to find full house, and it just has the normal 18 plays. So that is there for a reference. I'll try not to forget to put that in the description box below. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. This is the full house formation. What I want to start off with, since we're here, is sub-packages. Okay? As of now, the package is normal. And the way this is set up is, it's a diamond formation. I'm sure you've seen that in college football recently. A lot of people do it out of the gun, not from under center. But the biggest thing I wanted to point out was, as you see here, like number 14, that is your number one tight end. Number 36 is your number one fullback, and number 3, he's your number one halfback. And, of course, you got 2 wide receivers, a quarterback, and your 5 linemen. But I just wanted to point out what makes full house different from everything else is how the original formation is set up. Again, you got your tight end on the left, your fullback on the right with your halfback at top. So if we just go through all the sub-packages, let's go to the first one. Halfback sub. It's very simple. You just put in your backup halfback at the halfback spot. Next, we have twin halfback. And all this does, it replaces your tight end on the left with your backup halfback. Okay? Next, you got backup quarterback. That's self-explanatory. Jumbo. What Jumbo does is it puts your top fullback at the halfback spot with the backup fullback on the right, where the original fullback was. Okay? Next, we got wide receiver flip, self-explanatory. It just flips your 2 receivers. Next, we got fullback tight end flip. Again, it just flips your tight end and your fullback. Next, we got twin halfback up. You got your two best halfbacks taking the tight end and fullback spot. Your number 1 halfback is on the right. Your number 2 halfback is on the left, with your number 1 fullback taking the original halfback spot. And that is it. Okay? The first thing we want to cover is the motion possibilities you have with this. Now, the easiest way to show this is to pick a drop back pass play, and we'll fool around and see who you can move. So let's just pick curl flats. Again, this doesn't really matter. What we can do is go to practice type, and let's just go offense only. That way you can see it much more clearly. We'll just click on curl flats. Okay. The most important motions you can have are your tight end and your fullback. These guys right here. You cannot motion your wide receivers. As you can tell, you can only motion 3 players. The 3 guys in the backfield. So it's sort of like flexbone normal in a sense. Okay? We can start off with the tight end. If you motion to the left, he essentially becomes an H-back. If you put him back, you can motion him to the right. The same thing, he just goes to the right side. The fullback is no different. You can motion him to the left, he goes as an H-back. You can motion him to the right, he goes back as an H-back. Okay, now with a halfback, it's no different. You motion him to the left, he becomes a slot receiver. And his hot routes become that of a receiver when you do that. And the same thing over here. You just motion him to the far right. So this is if there is an advantage to this formation, it is the motioning and the weirdness you can kind of do with it. Even though there's only 3 guys you can move around. Okay? Let's start off with the run plays. we'll do the run plays, and then we'll go to the pass plays. And I'll just give you my general thoughts. I'm not going to go, again, into minute detail of every single play. It'll take forever for this video to finish, and I don't want to do this in a series. I just want to cover the formation in one video as best as I can. All right, let's just start from the very top of the formation list and just keep going down. We'll start with halfback dive. Okay, we'll just square. And maybe it would help if I go up against a defense. We're going to do, with our run plays, we're going to go up against just a normal defensive type, practice type. So let's go back and let's go and click on halfback dive. For now, let's just go against cover 2 man, just so I can prove a point or two. Okay, one thing you'll notice when you run full house is the defense itself is not going to move around a lot. You're not going to see him shift. It's a balanced formation. The more balanced your formation is, the less shifting the defense will probably do. That's not guaranteed. There's nothing stopping the defense from shifting one way to the other. You're just not going to see it as much. Okay? At default, halfback dive has us going to the right. Now, in the past, you've heard me talk about, since it's cover 2 man, we know that the middle linebacker is covering the halfback. Okay? The linebacker to our left is covering the tight end, and the linebacker to the right is covering the fullback. What I like to do against man, if I can, is I'm going to motion this tight end over. That means the linebacker on the far left is now having to cover the halfback. That means he has more field he has to run to cover to go after the halfback. And the middle linebacker should now be on the middle linebacker, on the fullback, and the linebacker to our right should be on the tight end. The only problem I have with halfback dive is just the blocking isn't all that great. This is a pretty decent one here. And the reason why I picked Florida State against Duke is because Florida State's really good and Duke is not. If you see me run a play 10 times over and it doesn't work well against a bad team, that's a good indicator that the play is not the best in the world. So I thought this was a good idea to do that. So we can do this again. Here you see the defensive end or the defensive line splitting out. It's no different. You just follow your blocks, but I'm just here to tell you, just to forewarn you, are the tight ends and the fullbacks, it's a hit and miss when it comes to them blocking, especially with this play. Cool thing you can do, decent blocking here. What's going to hit dive for now? One thing you can do here, you can flip the run. As of now, it's naturally going right, but you can flip it to the left, and he can run left. And what we can do is we can select the play again, and we'll just go random play from the formation. I don't know if they're going man or zone or not, but just follow your blocks just like any other play. This is not one of the best run plays in the formation. Here they're going zone. We can run a play here. There's not a whole lot there. It's just a hit and miss. The biggest thing you got to know about this formation is moving your tight ends or fullbacks around. Does it help or not? I have no quick solution to that right now. I just don't see. I mean, yes, it may be best to have an extra body over here to block for us, but if he doesn't block anybody, what's the point? You know? So that's kind of like my thoughts on halfback dive. It's quick. That's the one advantage of it. And you can flip the run, but you're just at a risk of your tight end and fullback doing their job. Same with halfback draw here, which is circle. It works no different than any other halfback draw from under center. It works okay. Problem is, you just got to hope you get good blocking. I don't know. I mean, you can motion guys around and see if that helps. Just depending on what the defense they call. Like, for example, they're going man here. Maybe I want to go to the right. Is it my best interest to move the tight end over? That way that linebacker is having to force to go away across the field. It worked here. You know, I was able to bounce to the outside to make it work. You got to remember halfback draws are a little bit quicker under center than they are in the gun. The gun halfback draws are terrible. But halfback draw, you treat it no differently than halfback dive. Again, just fool around with your motions and see if they help or hurt. Who knows? Okay, let's go to the next one. There are two counter plays in this formation, counter trap and counter tray. Let's cover counter trap. You see here on the left, we'll go up against a random out of this play. The big thing about counters is the pulling guard. Does he pull correctly? Does he pull quickly? Let's find out. Let's go ahead and just snap the ball. Okay, let's look at this guard. Here's your puller. If he doesn't pull as soon as you snap it, it's probably not a play worth using. The play has snapped. I mean, the ball has been snapped. The quarterback has the ball. Yet our left guard, he's still sitting there. He's sitting there. Now he decides to pull. So with a play like this, you're taking your chances. Cool thing with this play, I mean, I think with all the run plays, to be honest, you can flip it. Flip it to the left, but you notice the right guard, it took a while for him to get off his line. He finally got off the line, but he's not blocking anybody. Again, you're just taking your chances with a play like this. Next play, let's go. Counter trap, halfback blast. I feel like this is a wasted play because halfback blast feels a whole lot like halfback dive. We can select it. We can flip to the right. Just I want to get away from that impact guy. We could try to get an extra man over here. It's quick, but you can break this play down. Somebody got left unblocked. Let's see. The tight end. What's he doing there? I don't know. Another example is the fullback. What's he doing here? He is blocking nobody. I think what these plays are designed, I think the tight end and the fullback, their goal is to block the safeties. They're a whole lot better off if they block a linebacker. But neither one blocked anybody. That's why it ended up being a busted play. So you're probably going to get that a lot with this particular play. And with dive and the rest of them. That's why you see a lot of gamers. I use two-back sets a lot. It just kind of depends on the formation and the play, the way it's designed. But as you can tell out of the gate, you're taking a chance with some of the blocking here. Okay, next up, halfback option. This may be the best run play in the game. In the formation. It works no different than your basic power option or halfback option. He does a three-quarter circle, and he goes off with the option here. So we can select this. And I have a decent, speedy quarterback. I want to run to the right. Works pretty well. I like it. If you want a little change up to your option game, no reason to start using this. It works fairly well. Again, you can fool around with that's a good hit right there. You can fool around with the motions. Maybe you want to put the full back down. Maybe that'll help. Maybe against zone as such. Pick up 10 yards there. And of course, you can flip it, which works well. You don't have to bother with the motion if you need to. Just depends on what you want to do. We can try it again. I don't even know if they're going man or zone. We'll find out real quick. Looks like they're going zone. Still pick up a solid 10 yards. By far, my favorite run play in this formation for sure. Next up is halfback slam. Now, this is a really big disappointment for me. You click halfback slam. Let's see what happens to it. Let's break up the monotony. Let's go to the right here. It's very slow. Look how slow it takes for the halfback to get the ball. We'll break this down. It just takes forever. Like, he should have gotten the ball by now. Slam is usually my favorite run play in the game. It's just simple. You can bounce to the outside, stay inside if needed. It's really quick. The halfback slam from Full House, I just don't like it. For whatever reason. It's just slow. It doesn't matter who you move around. It's just a slow-moving run play. I'm sure you can break plays with it, but the blocking's got to be there. So something to think about. Again, you can flip the run with it as well. Okay, counter trait is their utter counter play. Now let's talk about this one for a little bit. This may be my number 2 favorite run play out of this formation. Let's go to the right again. Let's get an extra defender if that helps. Okay. Let's see what the guard does. Don't know if you noticed that. Really good run here. Look at the left guard. Ball is snapped, and he's already off and running. This is great. Another thing I like to see is look at the halfback and the fullback. They are in sync in terms of their movement. Both of them are faking and going with the counter. I like that. I just think it looks pretty cool. But as you can tell, a pulling guard that quickly, it will help you some. A whole lot better than the counter trap. We can call it again. This time, let's move the fullback down. I don't know if this will help or hurt. Good blocking. That's just good defense by the corner. We can try it again. I'm not going to move anybody. Not bad. It's a zone. Pick up some yardage. But again, big thing is the guard. It pulls really quick. He can at least get somebody. And he picks up a linebacker. That's good. And, of course, you can flip it. We can go to the left. And that was interesting. I'm glad that showed up, actually. Let's try that again. Looked like a glitch. Interesting. If you flip, I just now figured this out. This is why you practice. Let's go this way. Give us more grass to play with. If you flip counter tray to the left, for whatever reason, the halfback doesn't receive the ball from the quarterback. So I don't know if you could treat this as a quarterback run. Let's see if that happens. Again, it's happened every time so far. No, he finally got it. So I guess you're taking your chances if you flip this play. If you leave it as is, there's no problems. He picks it up. It's quick. That's just a good defensive play right there. But anyway, that's counter tray. It's worth exploring, especially if you move around some players. Okay. Next is halfback toss. We'll talk about this very briefly. It's like any other halfback toss in the game. It doesn't work very well. It doesn't matter. I mean, the blocking just isn't designed well for halfback tosses in this game. Pretty good here. I think we just got lucky. We could try it a few more times. I'm going to leave it as is. And there we go. That's more like it. Just not much happens there. You can flip it. But there's just not much there to work with. Okay, that might be it on the halfback tackle. I think is the last run. This one's okay. This may be my number 3 favorite run out of this formation. You could do some damage with it. It's a little slow, but it feels like it's the same speed as halfback slam, but at least you know you can get to the outside with it. That's what it's designed for. Good blocking here. They're going man. What happens if I do this? Don't know if that helps or hurts. It doesn't help. They're going man here. Looks like they're double teaming Z receiver. But you can still pick up some decent yardage with it. Again, just fool around with the motions. Okay. That is it for the run plays. Now, let's talk about the pass plays. What we're going to do, we're going to go to practice type, and to avoid sacks, so you don't get bored by those, let's go to pass skeleton. Let's start off with PA strike. Just by looking at the formation here, let's go up against, let's go random. I'll fool with that here in a minute. Okay. You got a post, you got a dig, and you got a switch. You've seen this combination a few times before in the other playbooks, other formations. The only problem I have with this play is the zone beaters aren't all that great. Normally, we're on the left hash. A post route on the opposite side is great to attack cover 2. You can even hit cover 3 and cover 4 with it. But most pass plays, I like to have a short cover zone cover beater that can pretty much attack anything. The only one that I see here is the fullback. So with this play, I would probably go over here. Now they're going man. For man, technically all 4 of these routes can work pretty well. I mean, it's your standard post, switch, all that good stuff. For example, this is a good cover 0 beater, your tight end. He's get one-on-one situation with the linebacker. Not bad, he just drops it there, but you can tell that's going to be a good play. All right, looks like they're going zone. I saw the right corner moving around a little bit. So what you can do, you can motion your fullback down. There you go. You got a little bit of a short zone beater. That's why I like it on the right hash. If you're on the left hash and you're going up against zone, here is man. But if you're going up against zone, your options are very limited. I mean, from what I can tell, it's just basically the post. Sometimes your wheel can get open. If the routes were switched between the tight end and the fullback, this play would be amazing. But that's not what we have. It is what it is. So you're kind of stuck with it. But at least you could go for the tight end for a touchdown. You know, cover 0. One thing we need to talk about is it's a play-action play. Therefore, can you flip it with the quarterback still doing his thing? Okay, let's just play this again. Notice how slow the play-action is. Takes a little while. Now he finally gets in the zone of it. That's a good pass play right there. Okay, but what happens if you flip it? We got to remember, our quarterback is right-handed. If you flip it, we'll go up against whatever. Notice how slow it is. He's got to make his turn, and then he's ready to throw. So something to think about. Very good chance you may get sacked doing this if you flip it as such. It's not like other play actions where it doesn't matter. So something to keep in mind when you're calling this play. Otherwise, I like the play okay. I mean, it's got some good routes to it. I just wish it would attack zone a little bit better as opposed to just one delayed route being a good guaranteed zone beater. Okay? Next is PA counter pass. This goes with your counter trap you see to the left. The play action is the same thing here. Let's go. This could be a left hash play for us. Let's just go. Okay. What we got here is two deep routes. You got a corner route on the left and a two-step flag on the right. Good man beaters. Not so much for zone because there's really nothing helping them out. I mean, you could probably attack cover 2 with it. It's just going to be hard. Okay? Here you have your tight end going on an out route. That's good for zone or man. And your fullback is about the same way. It's a little corner or a little circle route. Good against man or zone. Zone, that's your center beater. Man, if he get good separation, you can throw it to him. Now, I think they're going man. If I'm not mistaken. It's play action. And he can get open. There's a good play right there. Let's see. Okay, they're going zone. What I would do here is I only see 2 routes that are worth going to. The fullback over the middle. That's your center beater. And if not, you can go to your tight end underneath. You can go over here if you can get to him quick enough. This play works fine. Here it looks like they're going cover 0. We can go to a flag. It's just a one-on-one situation is all that is. Looks like they're going zone here. Good play there to the tight end. Zone again. I'm not seeing anything over the center, so we can go to the tight end again. Pick up a handful of yards there. Looks like they're going man here. Cover 1. We could try the corner. Ugh. That was a pretty good throw. Just didn't complete it. But anyway, not a bad play. The only problem is, look how slow the play action is. It's about the same as the other play action play we just went with. So if you go here and we flip it, what happens? Let's watch the quarterback. He's got to make his circle. That's a problem. It is what it is. Something to think about when you're calling this play. Just think about flipping it and depending on your quarterback's arm. Okay? Next, let's go to quick slant. Quick slant is not that bad. To me, it's a left hash play as is unless you want to flip it. When it comes to man, there are about 3 routes. Your fullback is a pretty good cover 0 beater. The problem is it takes forever to get down the field. And by the time he cuts up field, he kind of gets bogged down with your slant on the left. Now they're going man here. The best route is your zig out, as always. Looks like they're going zone here. Nope, they're going man. That's what I want to do. Okay. Again, zone, you really only have 2 options. Your slant could be a cover or a center beater, or your little flat route with your tight end. So this is like a left side, right side type of play in a way. So since they're going zone, we can see if we can get something over the middle. I'm not seeing it. Let's just go to the tight end and pick up some yardage. We're going zone. Let's look at the left side again. Not really seeing it. Let's just go to the tight end. That's a bad throw. Now they're going man. We can look at the fullback. We can look at the 2 receivers. Looks like they're got 2. It's a cover 0. It's a cover 1. Let's just go to the zig out. Not a bad play, to be honest. I like it. It's one of my favorites. It's one of the easier ones. It's a good little West Coast type play. So it's not bad. Okay, corners. This could be another left hash play just from looking at it because I always base off where is my short zone beater. And my short zone beater is our halfback. The only problem with this play is it's really congested over the middle. You can motion players around. Like, I could put the tight end over here and he becomes like a better cover 0 beater. Or you can move the fullback and he could be a cover 0 beater or technically cover 1 to the right side. But when it comes to zone, all you got is your drag and your halfback. Looks like I could give it to my halfback here or my wide receiver. Looks like they're going zone again. He was open over the middle. There we go. They're going man. I can motion my tight end over. A little bit better cover 0 beater instead of getting clogged down on the sideline. Looks like they're going cover 1. If you wait a little bit, the middle opens up some, but again, you're just taking a chance. Here, they're going zone. I can go to the halfback, pick up some yards there. We're going zone again. We can go back to the halfback. He should be open. Good space in here. Not a bad play. It doesn't have a whole lot of limitations, but it feels like a good West Coast play for me. We're going man. I can motion the fullback. Let's see if we can go over. Looks like it's going to cover 0. Let's see if we can go over the top with him. It's just a flag route, basically. If you got a decent fullback who can catch, maybe you could do something there. Just a bad play. Bad throw, though. Not a bad play, to be honest. Corners, again, you can flip it, do whatever you want to there, but as is, it's like a left hash play for me. PA rollout. This is no different than any other PA rollout in the game in terms of how the play action works and whatnot. As you can tell, we got a go route with a little out route underneath. This is a right hash play for me, so let's just go to the right. All right, they're going zone. Zone beaters, there are technically 3. It's no different than the other ones. You got your cover 2 beater with your go route and circle, or you could go underneath to your fullback, or if you have a center beater, if you can get to him in time, you could go to square your crossing route. Here, I'm seeing cover 2. We could go to the receiver for 6 points. All right, they're going man. What you can do here is go over the top for cover 0 with your go route. You got your crossing route, and your fullback's a pretty decent route. I don't know if the tight end, this is a goofy route. I don't know if it's worth going to him. It may work halfway decent. He can shield himself pretty well from his defender. Looks like they're going man again. Looks like they're going cover 0. We can go over the top. Just a bad throw. If I can squeeze him in. Oh, not enough. But all the routes technically work here against cover 0, or against man in general. Now the tight end is double teamed. That one's smart on my part. Zone. Looks like they're going cover 2 again. We can go back to the go route. But it's not bad. Not a bad play in general. And we could try this one more time. They're going man. This is what I want to try out. Yeah, that's a good little play for the tight end. Not bad. Okay, now let's flip it. This is the one big advantage it has over the other play action plays in the formation. It's quick. You snap it, he's right into it. Good deal. That's what you want to see. Touchdown. All right, they're going zone. There should be another quickie here. I saw a little bit of a hole over the middle for our crossing route. They're going zone here. I'm seeing cover 2. We can go to the go. We're going zone. Let's go to the fullback on purpose, or to the tight end. There we go. Get a few yards out of it there. If you want, you can motion some guys down, like we're going man here. We could put the fullback down. Can we give it to him? Yeah, not bad. Not a bad play. Okay. Maybe the best pass play in the formation, just because all the routes are useful. The play action is quick. I think you could do damage with it. On top of, you could take advantage of your motions. Okay? Let's talk about these two real quick. Halfback screen, we'll talk about it very briefly. It's terrible. The reason it's bad is any halfback screen from under center is not going to work. This ain't going to show it to you, but what we'll have to do is, let's go to play practice type. Let's go normal. Let's go to screen. And you can't get the ball off in time. There's going to be somebody in your face. I mean, you're just going to be really quick with it. We can try it. You're taking a huge risk by running this play. We're going zone. It works best against zone. You can get something here. Just be very careful, though, on somebody coming through up the middle. Another decent play here. But then you have problems like this. You get sacked really quick. You got, cover 0 beaters across the board. And you can probably do something here. Again, you're just taking a chance with a halfback screen just because you're under center. Okay? Halfback pass, it's no different than the one out of like ace normal and I think ace slot. This is like another left hash play for me. You don't have a whole lot of time to do anything here. And your halfback is making the throw. So what do you expect? Not a whole lot. Here they're going man. For me, you can go to either wide receiver, I guess. But your halfback's just not going to make a good throw. So again, you're taking your chances with halfback pass. Okay, let me go back to practice type. Go past skeleton. We got 2 more plays left, I think. Curl flats, no different than any other curl flat. You can do it off either side. You also have a center beater, even though it's a delayed route. We could try it here. We're on the left hash. Looks like they're going man, I think. Go to a curl. Going man again. Just go to either curl. Got to make the catch. Zone. You can do one of 2 things here. You can either... No, go back. You can either go and move your tight end or whichever one is on which hash. Get over there quicker. But somehow I think the play works better if you leave him as is. He gets underneath a little bit more. He's got a little more room to work with. Compared to... Here's man. Let's try. We'll go curl. Going man again. Again, you just go to either curl. And you can hot route, do all that good stuff. I mean, very good play, though. It's simple. You just got to remember the curl routes are very risky. You just got to take a chance on those. Okay? And, of course, you can move it to either hash and do the same thing. It's a mirrored concept. I think it's last, if I'm not mistaken. Last play is streak flares. I like this play a whole lot. It's a mirrored concept. I like it more as, again, a left hash play. So we'll go from here. Man, you got 3 routes. You got your 2 go routes, and I think your halfback is a good man beater. What I like to do with man, I like to motion him over. And they're going zone. I completely forgot. That's fine. Let's see. All right, they're going zone. Let's start with there. You got 2 routes, technically, more or less. Your center beater is your halfback, and whichever hash you're on, go to the swing route on that side. So in this case, we'd want to go to our tight end. So our tight end or our halfback. Here, he's cutting up field, and you can give it to him right there to pick up some decent yardage. Now, against man, like I said, your 2 go routes, and you can go to your fullback because you've got grass to work with. What I also like to do, though, like I said before, is I like to go to my halfback, move him over. Because it's a good slant route. It's a bad example. Try it again. Now they're going zone. All right, they're going zone. Let's just call this here. Get some yardage from the tight end. Now they're going man. They're going cover 0. I suggest you go to the goes. I just wanted to prove a point here with a halfback. There we go. That's what I was wanting to prove right there. A good slant route. It's a 2-step move. He can get some serious yardage done. Here is got cover 0. You can go to either go route. Really good play, though. You don't have to flip it. You can move it over and pretty much do the same thing on the right side, like we're going zone here. We can go to our fullback, pick up some good yardage. The only thing is, I think your halfback works better if he's got more grass to work with. It worked out okay. I would just prefer if he wasn't so congested with that receiver. But it works on either hash. You don't really have to flip it. The spacing is incredible. That's what makes this play work so well. All the routes are away from each other. So honestly, this may be the top pass play in the formation. So just a quick overview again. Let's go back to practice type so we can see all these. Again, a quick overview. The sub packages are pretty good. It's got your normal stuff. The biggest downside to this formation for me is not so much some of the run plays don't work, is that every single run play is to the halfback position. There's no fullback over, or you can't run it to the tight end. Look at every one of these. Halfback dive, halfback draw, counter trap, halfback blast. Again, every one of these goes to the halfback. Halfback, halfback, halfback. This was a wasted opportunity for EA to really get creative. They easily could have replaced this halfback slam with a fullback over or a tight end over. Or, I mean, they could have done triple option. They could have done something more than what they had here. That's the biggest problem I have with this formation. The sub packages are fine. Twin halfbacks, it just kind of depends. You just want to put your best players out there in any which way you can. So the sub packages are pretty cool. The motions are fine. I think that's the advantage of this formation is you can really fool around with the fullback and the tight end, moving them around. And on top of that, just looking at the plays again in general. Let's see. We'll start off from the very beginning. Dive is okay. Draw is, I'm not a big fan of it. PA strike would be better if you could switch the delayed with the wheel route. Counter trap is not as good as counter tray. PA counter pass is fine. I don't mind it. Halfback blast, it's no different than dive, so I have both of them in there. Quick slant, I like pretty well. Halfback option, probably the best run play for me. Corners, I like it pretty well. It's a little congested over the middle, and you need to have some time to get everybody cleared out from each other, but it's not a bad pass play at all. Halfback slam, probably the most disappointing run play because it's so slow. PA rollout is excellent. I highly recommend it. Counter tray is good if you're just patient with the blocking. At least your pulling guard pulls quickly. Halfback screen is terrible. Toss is terrible. Pass is terrible. You're taking a big chance on all three. Good luck with those. And one, I guess, small advantage is all three of them are listed together. So you kind of have an idea you can just gloss right back over them. Okay, curl flats, good play. It's your standard curl flat. Halfback tackle isn't bad. I don't mind it. And streak flares, I love it just because of the spacing of everything. All right, guys. Hopefully this was informative. I like the idea of doing a series of these. There's like 100 plus formations in this game, so it would be a humongous playlist, but very informative. And I thought it'd be neat to start off with a formation that I never use. So we'll see what happens going forward. I'm sure I'll get requests to add, do this next formation or do that one. I'll get to them when I can. It just kind of depends on what I'm feeling at the time. But again, hopefully you like this. Make sure you like the video, and that way I have a rough idea that you kind of like these playlists, and I can keep going forward with them along with the Dynasty mode. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later.